I want to play this game again. Oh my god, guys, we're really, really close to the end of the game, actually. Like, incredibly close. Now, off camera, I need to do one of these outfits. I think it's this one I need to do. I also need to do his regular outfit too. But aside from that, oh, and Carlos with the headgear. Aside from that, which will take me about an hour and a half of extra time off screen, we only have Harimau and Jose, and that's kind of it for this main series thing anyway. And then we're done. That's very sad. Very sad indeed, actually. Oh, Harimau needs the ropes. Oh, okay. Does he? Does Harimau have extra range, by the way? Looks like he should. No, he doesn't. I think he does slightly. He doesn't have knockout either, that's crazy. I thought he would. Oi, oi, oi. What's Harimau like when you're schmooving? Wait, can I do it? Wait, can Harimau not schmoove? Really? No way. No way. I don't think he can! You can just do this. Oh my goodness me. Well, at least I'll have stuff to say about Harimau. At least I'll have stuff to say about Harimau. And that is not a good thing. He's probably the most divisive part of the series, actually. His entire arc is just so useless. It's so near the end as well. It is like the last fight before Jose. The last main fight before Jose is Harimau. I don't think there even is another fight before Jose. I think it's just Harimau. It's unbelievable how just bad he is as a character as well. Yeah, bro generally has no schmoove. That's so sad. F tier character for sure. Terrible. Oh, I do like this. I like his dashes being like a hop. That's really fun, actually. I had a lot of fun in Harimau. And whoever's voicing Harimau also had a lot of fun. Oh my god. So Harimau's brought in late into the story because Yoko thinks that Joe is losing his wild edge as a boxer. The actual reason for this is two things, but I'll get into that later. Joe fights Harimau, and then Joe becomes severely brain damaged after the fight. Well, not severely, but he starts getting really bad CTE. Really, yeah. Not great. Basically, the whole thing is, Yoko's a moron thinking, oh, Joe's not as wild as he used to be when he was younger. Crazy. Let's make him wild again. Even though Joey's like a good boxer at this point. The arc is so bad, and it all doesn't, it's not even Harimau that's, Harimau coming in like doing crazy unbelievable shit like jumping off the ropes and like spinning around in circles shit. Like, that isn't the crazy thing about the arc. That's not why I don't like it. It's just Yoko being such a stupid character. That's what I don't like about it. Like, if we're going off of this kind of headcanon age of Joe, where he's 15 at the start and he's like 22 at the end of the story, then like it would make sense that Joe would certainly have matured. Either way, we do see him physically age. We see him grow. And from the start of the story to the end of the story, he looks very different. He looks older by the end. I would have just chalked it up as to the fact that Joe's not as much of a wild shithead boxer as he used to be, because he's actually improving. He's listening to what Dante's been telling him for the past couple of years. He's improving his craft. He's doing pretty well for himself by the time he fights Harimau, because it's so late in. It's after he's beaten Kit. So he's already a champion of something. Like, he's fought Carlos. He's already a champion of the OPBF. And bro is very much on pace to fight Jose. So why is Yoko sitting her fat ass in and being like, oi, let's change this? And in the process, what actually happens is we're just going to fuck up Joe even more. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. Yoko, I think, is the biggest villain in Ashita Joe. But so is Joe. Both of them are antagonists. Both of them are the villains of the story. Which is why they're so perfect as like a matching together. As like a duo. They both, well, not both. Joe hates Yoko's guts. It's unbelievable. And I mean, after the Harimau incident, I can see why. Yoko being a moron is like, Joe, you got to fight this guy before you fight Jose. I think she says that. She's like, you can't fight Jose. And Joe's like, why not? She's like, because you have to fight this random shithead boxer. I think he is ranked, actually. I think Harimau is ranked. He's like rank 6 in Asia or something. I swear he has an official rank. He's an official boxer, like a professional boxer is Harimau, which is unbelievable. But like, it's just crazy to me. Like, what a stupid arc. What a stupid moment. All it does is just make Yoko look like a villain, which ultimately she kind of is. She kind of is the villain for Joe. And she's not really that good of a person. I mean, neither's Joe. So again, that's why they're a good duo for each other. They're both bad people. They're both very morally grey. But like, it makes me just so mad. What makes me the most upset with the whole thing is that like they try and write off character progression as just like Joe has brain damage. Like, oh, Joe can't be calm and mature because he's just mature and he's like a more skillful boxer. It's brain damage. I swear that's what they do. They just write it off as like, yeah, it's just brain damage. I actually quite like Harimau though. I like him as a character. There's nothing to his personality other than he's crazy. But I love it. I think he's just so entertaining and so bizarre. But he's scary as well. He's so vicious. It's weird. It's very strange. Bro comes out of the Malaysian wilderness. That's where he's from. He's the Malaysian tiger. Isn't that what they say? Harimau is Malaysian for tiger. Unbelievable character with no reason to exist. I mean, I don't... The arc he's in is terrible. The arc he's in is just so bad. But I don't know if it's badly written, like by accident or on purpose. I don't know if it's supposed to like intentionally be a waste of time. That's what I don't understand. If it was intentionally done to be a waste of time and just to fuck up Joe further, then like I can get behind that. If it was just like bad writing and there was no intention of it, like it's just bad writing, then that's just like what I can't get behind. Because it's just such a dumb moment. It's not even a dumb moment, it's a full-on arc and it's just so stupid. Speaking of stupid, Marase, fuck right off. Going off of the whole Yoko, going off of the whole like Joe not being mature but just being brain damaged thing. There's some writing in it that I'm like kind of, it's hard to say because it's like what was the actual intention of it. I have my own personal opinions. For example, the famous Pure White Ash speech that Joe has with Noriko. He actually has two speeches. There's a speech prior and then a speech which obviously is the famous. Ooh, what's it going to be this time? The rolling one! Yes! We haven't seen this one yet. Wow. But back to the matter at hand. Back to the point. There's two speeches for the... There's a... Bros up! There's two monologues, right, Joe has with Noriko in that episode. One of them is one before, and then there's the Pure White Ash monologue. The one before is basically, both of them are the same. It's like Noriko being like, Joe, why do you box? You don't have to do that. Come work with me and Nishi at the family stall, basically, which is pretty fair. Now the second speech is the Pure White Ash speech, being like, I love to box. I'm going to burn out to Pure White Ash. I think that speech is complete bullshit. The first speech he has when she first asks is him basically saying like, I can't really leave the world of boxing because it's like you condemned to murder. You know, I've broken Wolf's jaw, I've killed Rikishi, and then like I may have also been a contribution towards Carlos's retirement. How can I just leave? Survivor's guilt. Joe's got survivor's guilt. But the second speech afterwards, in the same episode, the second monologue, is the Pure White Ash speech, which she basically starts off by saying, Noriko, what I said before was bullshit. Here's how I really feel. And to me, that's bullshit. The Pure White Ash speech is complete dog shit. It's Joey's not fighting just for the love of fighting. Joey's absolutely boxing purely so he can stay in the same world as these great men. That's the whole thing behind his big weight loss arc before Kim. He's staying in bantamweight because he feels guilty about Wolf, Rikishi, and Carlos. So the Pure White Ash speech, as cool as it might be and as iconic as it is actually just complete hogwash from Joe. He doesn't mean a word of that. You know, he might mean a tiny amount of it, but the first speech he had with Noriko, that was the genuine one. The second one is just, no, absolutely not. Him saying at the end how he burned up the pure white ash, that's not, I don't think that's in the manga. Like his last line of like, I've burnt out the pure white ash. That's not in the manga, I don't think. Definitely in season 2. I don't know if it is in the manga. I could be wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong. But that's how I feel. There's some interesting writing in Joe. But again, it's kind of how much of it is actually like legit, how much of it is just headcanons and stuff. Like me personally, I don't believe that Joe was just brain damage and that's the reason why he's so much calmer like later on in the story. I don't believe that's the reason. I believe the reason he's calmer is because he's grown up and he's matured. What about the whole bit in season 1 where like he's crying because there's a celebration going on for him after he beats Wolf? I think it's after he beats Wolf. And he's upstairs and he's like crying because he can't believe that like he's found a place with people who actually give a shit about him. Like, that's a really cool scene. I believe it's just he's chiller as the story goes along because he's mature. But the story kind of tries to write it off as just, oh, he's brain damaged, that's why he's not wild anymore. And I think even after the Harimau fight, they do kind of mention it as like, that's actually what the case is. It's like, no. I don't buy that. That to me is just bad writing. I don't remember. I have to potentially rewatch it for the millionth time. But like, I just personally I can't buy that. I can't buy that Joe's entire character progression of him like subtly becoming more and more mature and kinder to people. I can't buy that that's just all written off as just, oh, he's brain damaged. That to me is just terrible. That's terrible writing. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to accept that that is actually canon. It's so stupid of a reason. Thank you. Teabag, teabag, teabag. Oh god, Harimau. They're so boring. It's the fact that he's a slow boxer as well, and he has no shmove. If he had shmove, I'd at least be like, okay. Hopefully Jose has a shmove. As the perfect boxer, he wouldn't be perfect if he didn't have a shmove. Depending on circumstance, I might be able to knock him down in the round 1. I don't think I can. Probably not. Please, please. No! No! What is... No fucking way. I know something weird about Harimau, guys. He can only duck. He can't sway back. He can't dodge left and right. He can just duck like a brawler. So would that make him... He'd be really low then. He'd be really low on the tier list, actually. I can't think of any other boxer who has that kind of like... who has that issue. That's really weird. That's a really weird trait to give him. Like, you'd think Harimau of all people would actually have perhaps the most mobility in the game. His dashes are really bad, and he has less defensive options than other characters. That's such a strange like toolset to give him. What a weird thing. That explains why he can't shmove though, because he only has duck like a brawler. But how weird! How weird! The sad thing is, Jose is the final boss, but he doesn't feel like a final boss. Again, this comes into the issue of the game just having like slight differences between characters, but just not enough, like nowhere near enough to make him feel unique. That's why you could have had a smaller roster, but have them all feel like unique from each other. Have them all feel like different characters. That's the issue. They went so hard with being like, oh, you can play as Murasa, you can play as Uzman, and you can play as all these people, but it's like, yeah, but like, give them unique things. Make them feel different from one another. Even the SNES game did that. Like, a PS2 game, I would have thought surely could have, like... And again, as I say, effort has been put into this game. Judging by the loading screens, so much effort's been put into this game. But unfortunately, none of the effort's been put into the actual gameplay of the game. Except for making Harimau dog shit. Harimau is a character you can have so much fun with a guy like Harimau in these games. You can make him so crazy. And yet the game makes him, like, terrible. Genuinely one of the worst characters. Aside from the brawlers. It's... I just don't understand. I don't understand the thought process. Put me in charge of making a new Ashita no Joe game, and I'll tell you what to do. You won't like it, but I'll tell you what to do. First off, we're gonna hire all the music. We're gonna buy all the music, and we're gonna use it all. So I want to play the game and hear the ending song. I want to beat the game and go. What song would you actually use as like the ending song for Ashita the game? Would you use Joe Forever? Or would you use something else? I'd say Joe Forever is a good fit. But if not that, Endless Darkness also works, but then which version? The first or second version? The Iraqi version or the Oboe version? They're both really good. They have different vibes, but they're both really good. It's up to you, really. Hi, Joe. Wait, Joe. Come over here. Can he counter it? No. Joe 5 can counter the rolling Harimau punch, which is unbelievable that he can do that, to be honest. He can also counter Carlos's rope work punch, which is crazy. Why can Joe 5 do this shit? It's so fucked up. But anyway, here's Harimau. What's his pose? I did not like the look of this profile, this credit screen. Though, to be honest, Harimau was the ending that I think I was most curious about, despite never mentioning it before. I was like, what the hell would he even say? A lot, apparently.